Alpha. This is episode 150, and we have a very special guest. Her name is Ekaterina Stepanova, and I'm sure not a lot of people can say it the way that I said it, so I'm very proud of that. And first of all, she was born and raised in Moscow, Russia, and has immigrated to the United States 13 years ago and has lived in the New York since. She's the principal at M2K Partners, which of course you can find more information about what they do and the deals that you're working on currently on the website. It's called mhpteam.com. That's mhpteam.com. Who owns and operates several mobile home park communities throughout the country with a focus on value-add properties. And Ekaterina is a founder of Equity Tree, that's equitytree.io, an online platform dedicated to helping commercial real estate investors manage their deals and investor relations for an affordable price with educational support throughout the entire investment process. She is also a host of a monthly virtual meetup for mobile home park investors called MHP Tribe, MHP Tribe group on Facebook, and weekly MHP Week Kickoff calls for the community. And of course, for more information, you should go to mhpteam.com and the website, email, LinkedIn, Facebook, everything is going to be included in the show notes down below. But Ekaterina, just want to say big thank you for coming on the show and taking the time to do this.
Sure, Martin, it's my pleasure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the conversation. And you were able to say my name so brilliantly.
Yeah, I will say a couple more times, Ekaterina. So here you go.
Perfect.
Here you go.
Excellent.
Yes, so we're already on the show and this is happening. So of course, again, as I said, just talking probably first about for you coming from Russia, and what was their experience like? And again, maybe you can slowly kind of talk about how did you transition into the business side of the real estate as well?
Sure. Well, Martinez, when I got here, it was just it was a completely different experience. It's a different planet coming from Russia, and here you have opportunities, and there are multiple small businesses operating daily and growing, and just was such a great opportunity and a great feeling that you can get creative and express yourself through all these different avenues. And I always thought that real estate is something of interest, but of course I could not even imagine how that would look like here. And then I started with my first rental. I was reading and listening to folks on Bigger Pockets website, and then I figured that I'm going to get started somehow, and I thought that turnkey property out in Memphis will be a great first step. So I tried that first and had subsequent 2 evictions in the course of just 6 months, which made me quickly realize that that a single family property investing, it may not be the most secure way. And then I started looking into something more scalable from the standpoint of being more secure and safer in my investments. That led me to looking into commercial real estate. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's a huge transition, and it has taken me definitely several years to adjust first to United States, to the way how things are done and the business is done here, and then getting to my first property, and then slowly but surely again educating myself through websites, through podcasts, and just talking to people who are, generally they're just pretty generous and mm-hmm. Eager to share. And I had great mentors along the way who, again, shared their information and knowledge and expertise. And and so I started learning about commercial real estate. Multifamily apartment buildings were a little bit out of reach because you definitely need capital for that. And it's quite competitive as well. I was looking for something maybe to get myself started a little faster. And with background back from Russia, being in marketing, I thought maybe I can get more competitive in doing marketing direct to owners
Mhm.
And that's how I also discovered mobile home park investing. So I started looking into that and marketing to park owners directly using my skills.
Here you go. Here you go. That is awesome. So I love the fact again that you're, took a lot of time. And first of all, Bigger Pockets is one of the platforms that people talk a lot when they, in the beginning stages. And I guess still for somebody who's, in the process of building their portfolio, still it's a great place to go and network with people and get all these free resources, blogs, all these, podcast content that everybody can go and consume. So can recommend enough for somebody who's watching or listening, go to the Bigger Pockets and go
Absolutely.
for that content. Yeah, it's a great platform. So again,
Absolutely.
can you talk about your personal move? And of course, you kind of explain how the mobile home parks came about, through the marketing that you was, looking to do for these people. So, but what makes mobile home park investing different from, because you probably explored a little bit multifamily investing, right?
Yes, I was looking for a property, multifamily property to purchase for about 6 months. Really intensive search, I would say, and then it just was not really happening. It was very competitive, and you had to have all these pieces in place, which I simply didn't have: the capital, the expertise, the experience or operating side of things. So I just really didn't have those components in place, and somehow I struggled to see myself really owning a multifamily property. It just was. I think it just everything takes its time. And then when I was listening to podcasts about mobile home park investing, something about the ownership and the way at this time in this period in time that still mobile home park communities are mostly owned by mom and pop owners, and the way they operated there a little bit, you could say, maybe a little bit out of date. However, it just made me feel so much easier, and I felt like I could relate to them more. Just they're regular people. I'm a very much regular person. I don't have to be big and bad and wealthy multifamily investor. So I thought, you know what, maybe just I could relate to them better, and maybe I'll just try myself in that niche, which I guess eventually really worked out, and I just felt better connection. Let's
Yeah.
put it this way.
Yeah, oh, it definitely makes sense from your perspective again, as you're talking about, because yeah, multifamily space could be, there's first of all, there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of supply, which in mobile home park communities, there's not enough of that coming up. I think when I spoke with some of the mobile home park investors and operators, they're telling me that there's about 10 new lands, lots coming up every year. So
Hmm.
comparing that to the multifamily properties, I mean, it's nothing. And
Absolutely.
and some of the deals that are currently existing, those mobile home parks getting teared down, and they're building brand new Class A multifamily properties onto these lands as well. So it's very interesting, again, position to be in. And I think it's a kind of great time at the same time, because there's a lot of multifamily syndicators right now who used to invest into these 200, 300 unit properties. Now they're looking towards mobile home parks as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So can we talk about the value add component to the mobile home park communities? Is it pretty much the same as, multifamily value add strategy? And maybe we can talk about how do you go about and how do you add value to these mobile home parks?
Mhm. Sure, no, absolutely. In terms of opportunity in the mobile home park niche, it's absolutely as you said, and folks can listen to podcasts, and there are not as many books on this subject, but definitely plenty of podcasts. Kevin Bob's podcast, Jefferson Lilly's
Mhm.
podcast. I would highly recommend Frank Roll's Mobile Home Park University podcast. He's is fantastic. Um, and he's a veteran investor, owner, operator of this parks. Absolutely wealth of information. There's a lot of facts that people can find out by listening and reading. One thing I just want to kind of bring home, and this may not be talked enough. I think everyone has to just find their place in business or in investing career. They just really need to feel out and find out what makes sense to them, what they feel like they can really do well and enjoy, because everything takes time, and it definitely takes perseverance and persistence and experience, which you will gain only by doing the work. There is really no shortcut. So I would just say it's very important to feel connection and enjoy what you're doing. And you can find this by trying and by talking to people in each industry and see what really makes it click for you. So that is just a side note, maybe even for perspective on that, on mobile home park investing. But
so what do you think about the value add strategies? Is it is it similar? Because I came across a few, because I'm just looking to get a fresh perspective, and for the people who are already listening to these episodes where I had people on talking about mobile home investing, because again, and maybe you can mention a few states, because I like it says here that you're have mobile home parks across throughout the country. So first of all, maybe if we talk about what states those are, like the main states.
Sure. Well, we own parks in Florida, in Arizona, in Michigan, and my partner owns a park in Alabama. So this is across several states, and right now we are purchasing our first park in Ohio. So these are heavy value add deals, which what are normal projects that we do in these parks is, of course, we rehab, re-rent units, we bring in new homes on empty spot spaces, we submit our utilities. Something unusual and rather heavy lifting project we did just now on our park most recent acquisition in Michigan. We did electrical submitter, which was a large project, took us several months to complete, but at this time it's done. And we did not only submit our previously master metered electricity, but we did electrical upgrades to all the units in the park. Previously this year we submitted water. Of course, it promotes conservation. And we repaired since the beginning of the year and put online, I think, roughly 30 plus units, and increased the value of the park, by 100%.
Nice. Okay. So I have two questions when it comes to, the people who are looking to invest with those deals. And I'm sure you have maybe some, opportunities for people to come and invest with you, with you or, your partner from a passive investor standpoint. Of course, we can talk about that, those type of opportunities. But a couple of questions I think that some people have, well, at least I have. How do you actually go about and screen these potential, tenants that those people are going to be renting? Because a lot of people have this, which I would call false perspective. They think it's kind of, like the baddest of the bad people that are going to be renting those type of mobile home park units. So how do you go about, screening those tenants and making sure that, it's the right person who's going to be renting those units?
Well, Martinez, I would say that the screening process is very much similar to the one that folks have in a multifamily apartment building, units. Same exact thing. You would do the background check. You would do income verification, employment check, and of course you will have the same income requirements. We currently have, I think, three times the rent, plus there is requirements for obviously, we'll do the reference check, and of course no criminal records. And then we do only rent to own units, which requires people to provide down payment. So all this, things that you would want to see in your apartment building tenant, same things apply for a mobile home park tenants same way. It's just who prefers living in and having their own little, maybe a little, but still home, a little backyard, and having a little space for themselves. This is also a matter of life choice, however people prefer doing this. So, but yeah, I wouldn't say that the quality of residence is lower than the ones in apartment buildings. Let's say B, well, I would say C, maybe. However, this is us who specialize maybe on 3-star parks, maybe, yeah, 2 to 3-star parks. If you know the 2 and 1 A, B class mobile home communities, these are pretty much resort places. Some of them are on the coast, some have clubhouses and pools and whatnot. So you know, you cannot really judge just by the notion that is a mobile home community.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So the second question that I had is how do you go with the property management? Because again, you're widely spread out across the different states in the United States. So like, do you have a third-party manager, or do you have a vertically integrated company and how do you go about managing these properties? And maybe we can talk about, and sorry again if asking too many questions, but what is the most kind of recurring thing when it comes to the maintenance as well? Maybe you can add that.
Sure. Well, so management, in terms of management, we have on-site managers in each of the parks, and then we do the asset management ourselves. So I have 2 partners with whom we divide and conquer. This is how we manage. The maintenance depends on the state, because as I mentioned, we are in Florida, Alabama, and up to Arizona and Michigan. So these are completely different climates and completely different maintenance issues. So where in Florida you would never need to winterize the unit, and in Arizona the units will pretty much live forever because of the climate, then you have a heavy wear and tear on the northern homes. So I would say these are completely different sets of issues. So you just have to know your kind of have a plan going in and prepare accordingly. So for example, in southern Florida, we had the hurricanes passing through. So you just need to make sure that all units are tied down and just there are no trees around the homes. And so that's probably you're going to be main concern in northern. Of course, this is what we've done 3 weeks ago. This is winterization, just making sure all the units are prepared, heat tape, and yeah, and just you are overall all set and ready for when the the ground freezes.
Exactly. Okay, so talking about, as I mentioned, making deals available for passive investors. So I'm guessing those deals are available for people to invest passively, right?
Well, Martin, it's actually all these deals we've done with our partners and with our partners through who joint venture with us from previous deals. So we were, you know, it just so happened that they came from one deal to another. So we were able to do it that way. But as we are looking, it just again is a matter of growth. I guess you look at larger and larger deals, and I definitely see with time there may be an opportunity for other folks to come and invest with us passively, because again we just see bigger deals, and right now we're looking at a portfolio, so that might be a good opportunity for folks to come and join with us. And one thing that I want to point out that we really, with my partners, we like doing is we record every week, every Sunday. We actually record a mini update on our work through the week, what kind of maintenance things we were dealing with, what kind of maybe tenant issues we were dealing with, our progress, turnaround progress in different parks. So I think this been a really good tool, so to speak, not just for us to be accountable to and just share, I guess, experience our personal journeys with the other colleagues in the industry, but also it's been really good to share with our partners on this deal. So it's a complete just transparency and inclusion. So they feel that they are part of all this transitions and transformations that are happening in the on the properties.
Got it. So if we're talking about kind of opening up the, the potential portfolio that, when you're going to close on that. So how do you think you're going to structure the deals by the SEC standards? If it's going to be 506(b)(c), like who will be, available to invest in those deals?
Well, I think, the most likely we would be looking at accredited investors, to be honest, just simply because we would want to be sure that we can kind of open and close real quick because we want to get to the fun parts, to the turnaround and getting things done. So we would probably follow that path. However, who knows? We're looking at a couple other things, but I can also say we started just working now recently with the family office, so we may be able to source capital that way as well, because we just want to test waters and try different things and and just have some flexibility in whenever the right opportunity comes. We just want to have different options.
Yeah, so instead of raising capital from 20, 30 different people, it's going to be just one check from one family office. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, as you know, there are different pluses and minuses. So you just want to have options. That's all really the investors want. They want to have options because certain deal structures, they will fit best for certain properties and not so much for the others. So.
Got it. So can you just mention how many lots are we talking about that you currently manage and own?
I think just under 400 spaces altogether. Okay. And just working on the property that is 94 units to add. We're really trying to keep our acquisitions at over 50 spaces, just from the management standpoint, as you were asking previously, how do we manage them? And in order for us to afford and maintain a good quality on-site management, we really do need to be at a number that is greater than probably 50 units. So this will allow us to provide a good property management.
Got it. So the current deal, the portfolio that you're working on, is it going to be the last closing that you're looking to do this year, or you have something else in the pipeline that you want to close on?
Well, actually, the portfolio that I mentioned, this is just this is something that we are exploring. That is just under 300 units. But what we are currently in due diligence on is a 94 unit property.
Got it. Okay. So now moving on again, we kind of covered the property management side. So what about the property marketing side? So can you talk about, the ways and maybe the reasons why somebody should market themselves as a real estate business?
Well, if we're talking about marketing for acquisitions, for property acquisitions, or we're talking about infill project for the property?
We can talk first of all why somebody would need marketing in the first place, because everybody think, oh, look, it's mom and pop property. I've been managing it for 20 years and I know what I'm doing, How do you change those people's minds and understand, look, you need to market yourself, and for what reasons they would need to do that?
Well, I think this is, so it's internal and external marketing from that perspective. External, of course, you would want to do if you are doing the infill project, as we would often do. And you started you always started from inside out. So you go ahead and just make sure you take care of the park itself and the residents first, because there is no better marketing than word of mouth.
Yeah.
So that's how you would want to fill in your properties. And we always start with that. So this is the first thing that you do, is the cleanup project on your property. Then we did, repairs, metering, roads, you name it, we did it. And then as you have your current residents happy, you go out and you market, and you just want to make sure that the tenants who are coming in, they are the type of tenants that you really screen them carefully, and just make sure that this is the type of neighbors that you want to have. So definitely always marketing, and definitely, website, updating pictures, and you just want the residents to be proud of the place they live in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's an important piece. What you're talking about is basically making sure that you're managing the property in the right way before you actually go about and market about your property. Because yeah, one of the pieces is, yeah, definitely word of mouth, marketing, or if we can call it marketing, recommendations still definitely work. So can you talk about a little bit, because I'm seeing here that you offer through equitytree.io, you offer helping commercial real estate investors manage their deals. So how do you help them to do that through the marketing?
Sure. Well, this is something that I started about a year ago from the personal need and desire to kind of keep our partners updated on day-to-day of our properties, and being able to connect with them in one place and keep the documents and everything organized. So that is people call it investor management portal. This is a deal management portal for us. And so as I started building it, putting this together, it is truly one stop for all our deals, and where we can report back to our partners, where they can compare the numbers and things that we projected at the purchase of the property, and how we are delivering throughout, month by month, quarter by quarter. Just you can see projected versus actual KPIs, and then I started making this available to other investors, multifamily investors like myself. Once they get on the platform, they can not only go through the whole workflow of offering their properties for other, passive investors, active investors to invest with them, and do the syndication process and this whole, investor management side of things, but they can also then post-close, they can maintain their properties, and they maintain their documents and reports and the property management all in one place. So I find it very convenient, and just really made it very affordable for people, because I feel like transparency is extremely important, and this is against your internal marketing, the way you treat your current partners and investors. You will never have to go look for other investors again, because you do a great job for them now, and they will always be with you, and they will recommend you. So this is kind of part of the philosophy. Your tenants, your investors, your partners. That's why I guess we were able to work with the same partners over and over and over again.
Got it. Good. Then, of course, for those for more information, you definitely should get in contact with Ekaterina, and of course there will be an email for that, or personal, links. But again, moving on to the virtual meetup that you have currently, and I'm sure it was physical meetup maybe before, or maybe before you have had a virtual meetup. So can you talk about that? What people are gonna expect when they will become part of that, meetup?
Sure. Well, Martina, that was actually very interesting, because the virtual, I had this desire to meet with people from across the United States, and wherever they are, unless, if their passion is or interest is mobile home park investing, I just wanted everyone to connect, call in, dial in, visual, veto however they wanted. So this was my big desire to put people together. So that idea was started a year and a half ago, if not more. So, and then first it was physical in the city, in New York City, and then it was but we always had the live broadcast on Facebook, so we had people coming there, and of course, as we progressed into the year and the new year started, we had more and more of a virtual component, and now we are truly virtual, and we had people calling in from actually Asia. It was kind of interesting. It really my favorite part, I have to say, just to connect with fellow park owners or park owners to be MHP enthusiasts. This is like the best thing ever.
Yeah. So how many members do you have currently, approximately, let's say?
Well, I can say that on our weekly calls that we do every Monday evening, it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have I think, close to 30 people coming on weekly, and we talk anything mobile home parks related. In the past few weeks, we've been going through due diligence process. So it was an overview how you do your mobile home park due diligence offsite, then how do you do it on site, and legal part of it, and then third party reports and all that. It's like we go deep, and we discuss every single little thing, everything that you need to know, because we love it. And we have great mentors in the group who've done it, who own multiple parks, and we show our own due diligence on-site inspections. We share pictures. Oh my goodness, this is the most exciting part. You talk about on-site due diligence, what you find there, how you inspect private utilities, how you inspect homes. I mean, you name it, we talk about it all.
That's
a lot of fun.
So how long do these conversations go about? Is it an hour, 2 hours, or?
It's usually, I was trying to keep it under an hour, so it's usually an hour and a half. And at 9 p.m. I have to just wrap this up because this is just too much fun. But
Yeah,
we have to close it at some point. So it's every week, 7:30 to close to 9, and yeah. And as I said, we have people. It's a very open conversation. So we have a few mentors who would share some insights and kind of kick it off, and we get started, and then we have Q&A. It's very interactive, and yeah, that's how we roll.
that is awesome. And of course, you should join the Facebook group if you're looking to invest into mobile home parks or have a passion for that. So it's MHP Tribe on Facebook, and of course the website mhpteam.com. So those links are going to be down below. So I mean, it's awesome. Like what you're currently working on with the, mobile home park communities, and now you're looking to close on these. You mentioned 94 units, 95
Yeah.
units. So that deal, and now you're looking at the bigger portfolios that you're looking to take on, in an upcoming future. So it's awesome. I mean, I love it, and it's a great space to be in. So one thing that I wanted to ask you, again, part of that, what you're currently doing in a business with virtual meetup, growing interest towards, mobile home park investing, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind you?
Yeah, well, I think to me it's just mobile home park, MHP Tribe. This is like, I love it. Just every minute of it. Great people. I think this is the strength and the future of the industry, that we really going to contribute and collaborate much more than compete. And we have great examples of it. And I think transparency and really true collaboration that we've been experiencing with the community. It's not about having 1,000 members. This is about really and truly working together and sharing knowledge, sharing experience, and helping each other out so we can do better business, not only for ourselves and our families. Of course, we all start investing and we want, financial freedom. We want, different great things for our families. So it's a matter of us having this sustainability in our business and doing better, not just for ourselves, but also for the residents of our communities. And and sharing this openly, ups and downs, and just being a true, I guess, true collaboration. This is what it's all about. And I truly believe this is going to be our future, and we just need to be there for each other as much as possible.
Here you go. Here you go. And that's a great message and a great legacy to build on, to bring more interest to what's happening. Again, build those, virtual meetups, which is, again, is one of your personal favorite parts as well. So guys and girls, thank you for watching this episode. And one thing that I wanted to ask you before we're going to go, to make sure to pass this episode along to the friend of yours, that one who always maybe talked about real estate investing, or maybe in particular, mobile home park investing. So make sure to send this episode to that person, because he or she is going to find a lot of great tips, strategies, motivation. There's a lot of different pieces that are involved into this, episodes that we did today. So, and Ekaterina, big thank you again for joining me today on this episode and sharing your personal journey, story, and the way you conduct business. It's awesome. And again, building the meetup group, which is the fun part. So I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So guys and girls, make sure again to share this episode with a friend of yours. And as always, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.